Hey folks, welcome back to the Frosty Whiskers. It has been a little while and Lapan has been very busy, and we're going to talk about the changes when we get into the new save. I'm going to be playing on normal mode. Words are hard. I'm going to have the tutorial on. The Frosty Whiskers has been updated significantly since you saw me play it last time, including updates to the tutorial. I recommend, unless you've played this mod a lot in whatever the current guise is, you have the tutorial active. It's designed to help you survive the opening moments of the game. The same with the white paws, although I've not played significantly with the white paws. So let's get ourselves a name. FrostyWhiskers. Easy for me to type. Whiskers. Balls. Is this going to be unique or not? Good question. Yes, it is. And I'm going to pause straight away. I'm going to open the tutorial up. Some blurb. You'll now see there are two parts to the tutorial. There might have been two parts the last time we did this. The first one is to build some tents, and the second one is to get set up with the colony. We'll go through those in a bit. I'll try to remember to either put a time code or some chapters in to skip the waffling. I'll undoubtedly forget. And hopefully then one of you will remind me in the comments, and maybe even put the time code in the comments. I'll probably then pin that comment and then go back and put the chapters in. The waffling is probably useful to show you what's changed about the updates. So I am running some mods. I'm running automation. I'm trying to run Timprove. I've not tried that with the Frosty Whiskers to help with things like picking up the rubble, which is common. Right, what do we have now? First thing that's changed, the fill valve is unlocked from the beginning and is relatively cheap to build, and things like the rock block and the ice block are now cheaper to build. The thing with that is that that's to help you build some sort of reservoir and water flow store for generating power during droughts, because one of the significant changes from the last time you saw me play is that if bots don't have a network control signal and they run out of network control, they will die, and you run out of bots, your colony will essentially then collapse. So you need a constant source of network control for your bots, which means you need a constant source of power through droughts. Now, the Frosty Whiskers have their own difficulty setups so that temperate cycles are somewhat longer to give you time to get set up for that. So that's one of the changes that has occurred. We have all of our flags flashing. We now have the snow shovelist flag. I think we had that last time, and that lets you put down snow for farming, for snow for the beavers to consume for hydration. We will be having a look at that. We've got the farmer flag. We've got the forester flag for planting our birch trees. So yep. Storage wise, I don't think a huge amount has changed. The planks have been removed. I don't think a lot has changed. Some balance has changed. The snow is now stored in the ice storage. Yep. Tent wise, we now have, so we have these tents. I think we had these before. We have the despicable tent, we have the miserable tent, and we have the other miserable tent. So one uses 5 logs and is log based. One uses 1 log and some carbon fibers. And this is the one that was in the previous version. I think we had, and you had to rush carbon fibers at the start, which was a bit of a pain. I don't think much else has changed across here. So you will notice, actually, something I should mention. The science numbers have changed. The science numbers are much bigger, and the science that the brains generate is much higher. That was something that came out of a discussion that Lapan and I had about the balance of science being, and there was another person on the Timberborn Discord who had been playing as well. I can't remember their name, sorry. But this came out of a discussion around the balance of science and essentially the fact that the lowest number you can have a building consume is 1 science per hour. And kind of a requirement to have lower than that. So to get around that, Lapan has increased the numbers by a factor of 10. And then that lets him have smaller increments for some of the other stuff. So you will notice, so for example, the bot factory used to be 500. It's now 5,000. So don't be panicked by that. It's not a problem. We then go into the robot buildings. We have the charging station, the repair station. We have a robot fishing engine, which is really quite cool. We've got the nano machine printer, so that some of the buildings have now changed, and we'll come on to those as we get to them. We've got the carbon fiber mill. There are more individual buildings now. We've got the explosives factory. We've got a large deep water pump, and this looks a lot like the advanced chem lab from before. We've got the small network tower. We've got a large network tower. We've got the small brain. This now needs a bot inside it to work, which is a new fun thing to manage. Fun in inverted commas. We have the medium machine brain. Now this is an interesting one. This consumes science to generate science. So if you're out of science, you need a small brain to stockpile some science to then get the medium brain running. We have the large machine brain. This thing is just cool. This thing is awesome. But it needs bad water or water to run, and it consumes a lot of it. We'll get to that. The breeding pod, as we had before, power-wise, nothing significant has changed, apart from the fact that you need the ability to generate power during the droughts to keep your bots with a network signal to get things going. Excavation. This is a change. This is a new. There is a new thing here that I've not played with yet, which is the aquifer extraction. So this puts down a water well mine, which you then can put a giant ice crystal on top of to permanently extract ice from. Not had a chance to play with it yet. We'll get to it. I don't know if it's part of the tutorial or not. And then under the heat, we have a smaller campfire. This guy, the bonfire, which can have 2 visitors go into it. We also have the scratcher, which cleans the beaver's fur. Dirty fur does not stop them working, unlike the white paws. I understand. I am playing with them a little bit, but not a lot. But it does have a negative trait. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to get stuck in. I have previously gone through and worked out what I needed to create from the bunker to build all the things that I want to build. I'm hoping that still holds true. It might change. Previously, I have needed 13. So if we look at the bunker, I have needed 13 lots of the cannibalization to get bars. I've needed 4 lots of plastic panes. I've needed 4 lots of nano or carbon fibers. I've needed 4 cycles of nano machines, and then 3 cycles of oil to get me going. And I think that leaves me 2 lots of explosives if I do everything right. Now, I don't necessarily always get those right because it's hard to track them, but that's what I aim for out of my 30 nuclear fuel. There were / may still be some bits that are broken or missing within this mod still as Lapan develops it. This is going to be a quick run through of where things are now. It's probably not going to be an enduring playthrough. I have really enjoyed playing with where the FrostyWhiskers are, so I wanted to show it to you because it's cool and fun. So yeah, this is a bit of a look at the state. The other thing that's new actually in here is bridges, and these are cool because these conduct power because they have carbon fiber and copper in them. They will conduct power across them, which is really useful. So yeah. Anywho, let's get started. So much like you've seen me do before, and I have played on this map before, so I kind of know what I'm looking to lay out. We're going to lay out some paths which account for the fact that the bunker is going to explode. I tend to do this repeatedly, just helps me work around and try and avoid placing stuff where I'm going to have a problem, because the first few times that I played with this, I didn't do this, and I ended up building stuff and then having to move it, and that's just really annoying. So things that we want to do, we want to mark a bunch of these dead trees initially to be cut, and a bunch of these. We have pine trees here which are soon going to be producing pine resin, which is good. We also have dead trees up here, so we're going to mark these to be cut because that will be useful. That's that. Over here we have the medium ice crystals, which we're going to want to get to. That's not what I want to do. Let's unmark that. We will mark all of these, and all of those. We will put in a path down to about there. That'll be good. So let's think about flags and things that we are going to want to do. As this thing incessantly flashes away at me. So fishing, I'm going to put in 2 fishing flags. 2 should be sufficient for now. Something that I've started doing, and I don't have it available to me on here because I'm recording on a different computer, is I've started saving a lot of my advanced automation stuff into a notepad script so that I can just copy and paste it in to different saves. That's really helping me be a bit more efficient with my advanced automation. We're going to put in 3 of those. We're going to do that for now, just to connect that up to the district center. Gatherer flags, we're also going to run a path across there just to kind of short circuit that a little bit for now. Gatherer flags, we're going to do that. I'll get that going, and we need some lumberjacks. And currently we only have 2 beavers and 4 bots, and now one of the other changes is there's a bigger distinction between what beavers and what bots can do. So don't think, no, so we are much more limited on what we can get done. So we do need trees to be cut down, so that's going to be a high priority. And then we're probably going to bounce between these 2. So I'm going to pause one of these. Actually, what we'll do is we will let's just continue that and get it out of the way. Can use advanced automation, and we are going to construction state finished, and we're going to pause the building. That one's going to pause when it's done. And I'm going to copy that rule, apply it to that one, and then we are going to, if output fish is greater than 8, you're going to pause, save, duplicate, invert script. 5, save and close, save. And the other thing that I like to do on this one actually is, if output fishes is less than 2, worker priority goes to high. Then we duplicate that, we invert it to if there are more than 4, save, and then we set that back to normal, save. So basically, if we're running out of food, that becomes a high priority job. It becomes less of an issue once we've got some more beavers. And then this one, we're going to do if ready to collect greater than or equal to 1. We resume, save, and for now, output snow less than 5. We can just save that script, and we'll see. Control V, save, discard, close, duplicate, invert script. 15, save and close. Right. So we can get you going. We also want to start doing some stuff. You are going to be on that for now. I have a notepad document over here, so I'm going to try and keep track of those as well. So in terms of the next bit, we need to be putting in the tents. Those are important. So we want to build tents. Miserable shelters. And we're going to come over here and we're going to put those there. And going to make those super high priority. I'm going to prioritize the building of one of the lumberjacks, and that is going to be, yep, everything is high priority about that. I am going to be playing relatively slowly so that I can concentrate on what I'm doing. But yeah, we need 10 logs to be able to build those, so that's good. We do need to place the oil well and the geothermal vent. And what I'm just going to do, so the way that this recommends it is you put them in and then you deprioritize them. What I'm going to do is put them in, pause them, and then just continue past it because I don't want to actually build them there. I want to build them later. We're going to strip mine out here. That can go in, and then we're going to start working on the fun stuff, which is the things to start generating science. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put a path in here to here. Doesn't matter, it's a bit messy. And we're going to put in, as you saw me do last time, a whole load of nuclear waste storage. We'll get them to start putting that in. And then we're going to think about our power generation and our brain. So if we want to generate power from this, we are going to need some carbon fibers and some plastic panes. Plastic panes means we need some, mind your words, plastic panes uses pine resin. Carbon fibers uses logs. So a lot of stuff that we need. I need to just mark off another one of the bars having been generated. We've done 2 of those now. So we will get another beaver shortly. Beaver breeding has been slowed down, so bear that in mind. But my plan is for power generation, we're going to build our industrial area down here, and we will eventually put our district center down here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out here. We're going to come out this far, and we're going to put our power wheel here. My longer term goal is to unlock the water wheel, which will fit this gap better. But for now, we're going to put that in there, and we'll put the small brain down here somewhere. Yeah, it's a slightly longer trek for the bots, but it should be fine. So that's that. We have dealt with the critical temperature. We now need to build them a bonfire to help them keep warm. So let's do that. And we will delete this, and we're going to want to start putting in some storages. And we also want to check, go into mods and improve static. No, I hate the static thingy bobby. And default prioritize rubble high. Yep. Awesome. Cool. So that's that. And then we need to start thinking about storages. And for our storages, we basically need to cover all of these. So storage. I'm going to put a storage for ice blocks up here. What's that? Frozen beaver embryos. That's new. Okay, we're going to have to bear that in mind. Piles. We're going to put in 2 large piles, 1 for copper nuggets and 1 for beast rock, although I tend to use that up. But anyway, we're going to do medium piles for the gold, and what were the other things that we've got? So I guess the other thing we need is not a pile, it's a warehouse, a crappy warehouse for metal parts, and then we need small storages, or I'm going to put those down here. Bosh, put in 3 actually. Bosh, and we'll go you. Did I do 1 of each? No, I did. You, and we will do 1 for plastic panes. Thank you very much. And that means we need to throw in, let's get you over there, and then when we have the resource, we will get that going. But you should be now doing snow, which is good. And pine resin is available as well, so let's add pine resin to the automation. So let's do output pine resin, and let's do less than the same. Save script, and then we do open brackets or Control C, Control V, close brackets, save, and then I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to invert it and script, and we will do 15 and 15, and we lose the brackets on here because the AND operator takes precedence. So it will do this evaluation first, and then it will do the OR. So discard, close, save and close. Awesome. Right. So we can let that work. That's good. We are going to need accommodation soon. So we should bear that in mind. Now I'm going to save the game here. I have had issues with advanced automation and logging. So we're just going to save and then we'll go into this. Greater than 15. Mod Creator for Advanced Automation has been trying to help with updates to this, but they haven't all worked, and I'm guessing this one hasn't. Okay, just reloading. So assuming I have the right version of Advanced Automation, which I think I have, I will send him the log for that. Logs. Do you see what I did there? I know. My jokes are awesome. So I think what we'll do is once they've put a bunch of the logs into stuff, I'll manually pause some of this so that we can work on getting some of these storages finished, because that's going to help us progress things. It's fine. We're in an okay position at the moment. We've got plenty of time. So, yep, it'll be okay. We do need... let's come in here. Let's put in an hauler, and we're going to pause you, and you can be haulers. So once you're built, you can haul logs to the bonfire, and then we can pause you again. But it looks like we've used all of the logs that we need. So let's have you go over there, do that job. What we're going to do is actually let's automate you as well. Ready to collect greater than or equal to 1. Resume, save, and then we also want ice blocks less than 5. Save script. And now at the moment this is not really helping us a lot because we are so short of population. Rid of view, duplicate, invert script. But as the population grows, this will become useful. So, yeah. Let's just speed things up a little bit. And, yeah. We should then start to get the storages built. And then we can start to pick stuff up. What we will do while we wait, actually, is let's get doing some more strip mining. As well. And sorry, I do tend to run this a little bit slower just because it makes things I find a little bit easier to we have our 3rd beaver, which means we have a homeless beaver, which is actually really bad. So I have kind of screwed up here. So what we need to do is maximum prioritize, and if we unpause you because we need some more logs, we're going to extend the working day a bit. Not that it particularly affects the beavers, but we do need the beaver actually to cut down some more logs. So yeah. And then finish the tent, because if the beavers sleep outside, they will freeze. Now they do have the heat from the tent, which is good, or from the campfire, which is good, but less good if they end up sleeping out on the floor. So yeah, I do need to keep on top of that. Now that we have 3 beavers, we can leave one of them cutting down logs, which is good, because what I would like to do now is, yeah, we can have one bouncing between fishing and ice cutting. Well, basically we'll have 2 bouncing between fishing, ice cutting, and snow and pine resin gathering. We've got 15 pine resin. How much do we need for? Got enough to do the first lot of plastic panes. So let's do that, because that would be good. We could do with that. It's iron bars now. That's new. Makes strange Yoda noises at unexpected change. We have the first lot of plastic panes, so let's mark you off on my list of things to be made. To have lost the plastic panes from, there we go, because I was very, very enthusiastic with my deleting of things. There we go. Get rid of you, get rid of you. So we have plastic panes done, which is good, because we need those to build that. Do we have enough pine? We don't have enough pine resin to do another one yet. We don't have enough logs to do the carbon fibers either, which is kind of annoying. Because I would like to start making better tents, because I think they're more efficient logs wise. I haven't checked that, but they feel like they are. So, I mean, I guess we can check, because because these are 1 log and 1 carbon fiber, and it's 20 carbon fibers from 10 logs. So a carbon fiber is half a log. So it's 1.5 logs to make one of these rather than 5 logs. So yeah, it is more efficient. So I think what we'll do is we'll have those poised, and hopefully we can get some carbon fibers made, because we do need to make 4 runs of carbon fibers. So that would be good. We're going to need the carbon fibers to make the, find your words, the water wheel. We've still got plenty of time to pick all of these up to finish making our storages, which is good. And we've still got, we're actually kind of rapidly plowing through getting our next beaver out, but we have now got our carbon fibers. So let me make a note of that on my checklist. Go in here and we're going to make the miserable tent, and going to flip that around, put that there, come across here. And so I aim for somewhere around 10 to 14 beavers. I'm really curious now as to needs frozen beaver embryos. Okay, where do we get frozen beaver embryos from? I'm kind of curious about that. Efficient gene. That could be a problem. Or frozen. For more, and disgusting way to obtain it better than you should have brought by haulers, unemployed beavers. Kind of curious where we get the embryos from. Anyone? Bueller? I don't think we're going to get there today anyway, but you know. We're going to make that a high priority build, because we really need to get those built. So we've got 40, so we've done 2 cycles of that now. So let's pause those. We are going to need a storage for carbon fibers. So I'm going to leave a gap there just so we've got room to go through. And put that there. I've put my storages in very different places this time, which is a little bit annoying. So, but anyway, we'll let that run. And how are we doing for pine resin? We are at a point where I think I can switch back to that. Yep. That'd be good. That'd be good. They're going to get that built in time for beaver number 4 to have popped out, which is awesome. We've got an unemployed beaver, so we're going to cut down more logs. Everything else seems to be okay. I'm going to pause the hauler and put you to work in there. In fact, we're going to put you as a low priority beaver job. And then if we've not got a spare beaver, then so be it. That will be fine. Yeah. For some reason it goes back on that occasionally. I'm not sure why. I assume it's part of the mission system when I place more. Words are hard. When I place more strip mining, I think it sometimes re-initiates that mission. So now we've got storage for ice blocks. We need to change this to be district stock of ice blocks. 1 save. 1 moment, please. Thank you. District stock of ice blocks. 1 save script. Control C script. V. Control V. I'm going to keep it low for now. Discard, Bosch, save and close. But it just means we're not going to end up with this guy running constantly when we can get ice blocks from here. We are going to want to throw in a bunch more tents to be built, just because we need more tents. Yep. Awesome. What we should probably do is copy those to that one and get some more fish stored up. Maybe not have you gain the prioritization rules. Just have one that gets super prioritized if we get low on supplies. You are built, so now we need to put in our brains. We're only on day 4 and we are getting the brain built, so we do need nano machines. Yep, that can go there. That will be fine. And the nice thing is, so the brains now put out a small network field, which was one of the problems I had when I was playing before, is that you got into a situation where you weren't you couldn't self-sustain everything, and by having the brain put out a field, that really helps. Right, so we need to generate some nano machines. What do we need for nano machines? We just need some gold. So if we finish the gold storage, we can then pick up the gold. Well, they might pick up the gold anyway. Bring into here. Either way, we can get that going pretty soon, I think. And we need some copper nuggets, which we've got. We're getting this going on day 5 or 6 will be quite nice. That does mean we then lose a bot permanently, because they're going to be working in the brain to generate the science that we need. How much gold are you carrying? You're carrying 1. Okay. That's fine. It's going to take us a little while. Yeah, you can then get that going. Oh, awesome. So, nano machines, one of those ticked off. Nice. Might let them run another one of those. Going to priority. Oh, they're actually built. We just need to delete them. That's fine. Let's delete those so they get picked up at some point. Why are you not building that? This is a lot of stuff they're not building at the moment. I would really like them to build that, and then that's going to become a high priority workplace. So we've done 2 nano machines now. Awesome. Cool. How are we looking? I mean, we could increase this. At 25, save and close. We can get you doing a bit more. How are we looking on the breeding front? We do have a homeless beaver, so let's get that finished as a priority, because otherwise we're going to have a cold beaver. Build that, please. Homeless beavers are bad, and they will die. Right, we've got our brain going, so we can go on to the next step. So we need the small network tower and the charging station. So now essentially we need to put in a whole bunch of stuff. This puts out a network thing. So what we want to do is bring our network tower somewhere over here, so that we're making use of its network control to do something other than what we're doing. The charging station I do want to put over here, and I think actually we're going to put it right next to the this, but we're then going to run a fairly long power connection probably. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that I know we're going to need to build. We're going to need to build the repair station. And so let's hook that in, and then that will allow us to bring network station over. I'd really like to bring it over to here, which is an unfortunately long power run. Might end up moving the storages actually and have them on this path. And then hook this into here. Some of this we might end up deleting, because the other things that we are going to need to build are the nanomachine printer, which we might put here. So probably we can delete those. Nanomachine printer we need 500 science for. So right, where are we with our things that we need to make? So why are you not getting done? You just need to be finished. So let's prioritize actually getting you finished. Yep, let's prioritize actually getting you finished. Then we can pull the copper and iron bars out and the plastic panes. Let's get you finished as well. Then we can start making some more things. So let's now make some of you. Full on nuclear waste as well. So let's just make a couple of those. Clear that out. We are going to want to generate more power. So to do that, what I will look to do is come down like that, bung that there, and hook that up, and that will give us more of a power supply. Because at the moment we are not quite generating the maximum amount of science that we could. And as a reminder, we are looking to get to 500 science. So, yep. So that's now running. That's one more done. So that's 3 iron bars, I think. We will try and keep an eye on that so that we don't end up overcooking things. Now that we have storage for them, that is a concern. actually going to, before they start cooking more, I'm going to flick it back to nano machines. So we don't have space for nano machines at the moment. And we have plenty of time for doing stuff. And we can actually do another run of plastic panes. That would probably be a good idea. So let's do that. Let's encourage them to finish that as well. Are we... Yeah, we're full on nuclear waste again as well. So let's get them up here to build that. We don't have a homeless beaver yet, but I am going to encourage them to build another house because we are close to having a breeding cycle done. The other thing that we want to do is throw in some stairs here. Then let's get a path going and we will put another lumberjack here. And I'm just going to pause that for now. Food-wise, we are okay. We are going to want to increase our fishing capacity at some point soon, as the population expands. And probably what we could do now is get you in there and we'll just deprioritize that as a job as well. We'll make sure that you are somewhat prioritized. Should be good. We have an spare bed at the moment. That's cool. Log-wise, so you are full. You are full. So I am going to build another fishing flag. Just so we can start stockpiling some fishes. Someone remind me to unpause the logging. I will forget. We possibly want to build a storage for nano machines, and I'm going to start putting those down here. But they're not all super far away from where we want stuff. Plastic panes, we have done the second one of those. Just going to leave that sat on that for now. Guess they're busy picking stuff up. But hopefully once they've finished picking stuff up, they'll start building stuff. Got a couple of unemployed beavers. So I'm going to increase this to 60. I know I could do it off the capacity, but it's fine. It's fine. So that's running stuff. So that's 3 of our panes done. Let's run you again and let's clear out more of our nuclear waste. Yep. Or do we run, actually? Okay, you've run twice. So that's 5 of those done. Now I'm going to set it to run a nano machines at some point. Once they've built the nano machine storage, which will encourage them to do. And then hopefully they're going to start building a bunch of this stuff. We're at 340 science, which is good. We probably need to encourage them to build yet more nuclear waste. How are we looking? I think we need to get them to build another house. Nanomachines running. And then we want one more nanomachine cycle. Yep, there it goes. And that will be nanomachines done. I'm going to run an oil cycle next. Petroleum. I always call it oil because it looks like an oil drop to me. Bosh. So that's all of our nanomachines done. And we can run both of the petroleum cycles because that will just fill up the available storage space. Which is fine. Let's encourage them to build the things we need them to build. We've got 5 days left until the bunker explodes. We need to do some more fibers, the oil, and then lots of bars, essentially. And from a point of view of the tutorial, we need to do this one, and then I believe it is just the repair station and the nanomachine factory. So this, we have gold nuggets. We need some more gold nuggets, so we need to do some more strip mining. Get that going. We need some more logs, so let's get some logging going on. I want to cut out those trees as well, and we'll also mark those to be cut. So we just need some logs. Yep. And some gold nuggets. Let's also prioritize getting a few of those in. So this currently set to oil. Okay, it's fine. 5 days left on the bunker. I guess actually what I should set that to is those, and then we'll get the logs back. And that's going to run through Bosch, and probably again, yeah. Bosch. I think that's run 7 times now. Kind of hard to count when you're running so many of them. That's that done. And if we could just get the charging station done, please, gentlemen. Gentlemen, I mean bots. There we go. So yeah, we need the nanomachine printer, and we've placed the repair station. We can now build the nanomachine printer. Put that there. Yes, and that needs... I think we have almost everything for that. Yep. So let's prioritize those. You're still set to that, but we've got some nuclear waste in there. That's fine. Let's get rid of the nuclear waste. Got an spare bed. Let's plan for another one. Need to do 2 more sets of carbon fibers. So let's run through those once the nuclear waste is out. Hence, I want to get the cooking tent up and running, please. That's going to be a low priority job, prioritized by haulers. That's being built. Awesome. You are not running yet, but should be soon. Or did they do those? We've got 43 carbon fibers left. Means we've done at least 3 cycles of them. So in that case, we've done both the oils. So we need a storage tank for oil. Petroleum. I'm going to keep calling it oil. Let's do some of those. We need to build yet more nuclear waste. That's in, that's in. We just need a gold nugget for that. I'm guessing we've used all of the gold nuggets out of that. So let's do a bit more strip mining. To build that, which we've got most of the resources for. Yeah, the only thing I'm not sure about is if we've done enough carbon fibers. So I think we might do one more of those just to be sure. I mean, I guess we could work it out. We've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brain didn't use any. 5, 9, 13. 4, 17. Used 17. So we had 60. So we've got to do one more round of carbon fibers. So let's get them to do that. There we go. Awesome. And now we're doing 2 rounds of carbon fibers. So we've done 1 too many carbon fibers. That kind of sucks. And is very annoying. What I tend to do with the spare is run explosives. Anyway. Yeah. Oh well. La vie, folks. La vie. So we just need a gold nugget. He's got a gold nugget. Who's got nothing to do in range. Okay. Let's prioritize getting you built. You can go do something else. I'm not sure what. Anyway, we've got a lot of unemployed beavers at the moment, which is a bit annoying, but is what it is. Get them working up there, cutting down trees in a moment. And we'll also get you prioritized to be built. So we just need a gold nugget, please, bots. You're done. So prioritize you. Workplace, not high priority. Build, high priority. Build, high priority. Let's get those going. Please. I just need you to finish building that. Get working on building that, although it only needed to be placed. Get some trees being cut down now. 2.4 days on the bunker. They're now doing 2 more of those, which is good. It will once they've stripped those out, which means we're up to 9. We could do with doing basically, yeah, pretty much almost all of the rest of those as got enough plastic panes for what I need to build. I'm not sure. We might need to do another plastic panes. That's done. That doesn't need them. Tents. We need to build the primitive ironworks, which doesn't need them, and the chemistry tent, which doesn't need them. So that's cool. Robot buildings. That I'd like to build the explosives works. That doesn't need them, and that doesn't need them. So we're okay for plastic panes. We've got enough to build that. So yeah, I think we're good for plastic panes. We could do with getting that finished. Continue. We just need to survive. I think we'll get this finished. Like so. And pause you. And I think we're going to pause there, folks. So we need to finish building all of the stuff that we've got queued up to build. I need to finish making the metal bits. So it's going to let us put in the power grid that we need. I know what I need to account for. One of these, which is 6 plastic panes. So I need 4 plus 6. I need 10 plus gravity battery. I think I'm okay. I need another 1,000 science. So the way that I get through the drought is with a gravity battery. If we can, I also use the oil generator, but we'll see if we get enough. Yeah, that's my approach. So next time, we'll be looking at finishing up the building that we've got planned, getting some power robustness in, which means expanding the power grid, getting some tents going. I need to have a look at how we get the frozen beaver embryos. But I'll do that off camera. I might just ask Lapan where they come from. Can we even store them anywhere? No. No. Oh, we can store them there. Okay. I just don't know where they come from. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. And I'll see you next time.